Hello everyone. Today we will start chapter number 12, Indian democracy. So as we know that India is the largest democratic country in the world just because of we are having the largest voter list or we are having the many population. So we can say that India is the largest democratic country in the world. Also, there are many other countries who are following the democratic system of governance. So, there may be variation in the election process, their system of governance. So, for the same, we will discuss in this lecture. Okay? So, first, we will discuss about the democracy in water. In the democracy system, we know very well that in a democracy system, the voters, that means citizens, are allowed to choose their representative by their casting vote. That means here, the citizens are having the opportunity or they are having the options or opinion that he can or she can choose their own representative by their by their exercising casting vote. Clear? So here we can say that the peoples are having the most of the powerful person in the center of the democracy. The democracy definition, the simple meaning of democracy is like for the people, by the people, and of the people, right? This is the definition given by Abraham Lincoln, then the president of USA. So this definition is very much popular regarding the democracy. So we are discussing about the voter. We know very well that India is having the universal adult suffrage, and also we are having the one person, one vote system in our governance. Universal adult suffrage means the person who is above 18 and his name is in the electoral list, so he or she can cast their vote without any kind of discrimination. But there is one criteria decided by the election commission. If a person is declared mentally unstable or bankrupt, so he or she cannot cast their vote. Okay, otherwise there is no discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, religion, gender or social status, as well as many of these criteria are there, so we cannot discriminate any people to cast their vote. The voter is a very important factor in the democracy. So in the democracy, it is also expected that the voter use their right without any kind of greed and fear. Okay, voters should be transparent, and also the voters are having the right to maintain the secrecy of their vote. That means no one can ask that to whom you have casted your vote. Okay. Next, the public opinion. See, in the democracy, the public opinion is the most important factor. Why? Because as I told you earlier, the democracy definition of the people, for the people, and by the people. So here, the people are at the center of the government. So if any government wanted to remain in the power, or if any government wanted to keep or they want to be in the power, okay, like we know very well that there is a two party always are there in election. One, the existing ruling party, and the one opposition party. So ruling party will try to regain their power, and opposition party wanted to be in the power. So here they need to consider the public opinion. They cannot neglect the public opinion. So the public opinion is most important for the democracy as well as the political parties. So that's why whenever the political parties or the government are framing the policy, they need to focus on the public opinion. Yes, by this they can they can win the faith or they can win the trust of people, and the people will elect them again and they will be in the power again. The next is, how can we generate the public opinion? Public opinion is must, as I told you earlier, but like public opinion, how to generate, how we will generate. So there is two media is there, like print media and electronic media. It is very helpful to create public opinion. So first of all, we will discuss about the print media. The print media, we know very well that many of the journals, periodicals, newspapers, magazines are published in every region of the country, right? So and the print media should have the freedom to print against the government as well. So there is also expected that the print media should be independent. Like some print media is hiding the loopholes and faults of the government, and they are also showing the achievements of the government, so that is also not okay, right? That is not also okay, because the people are having the right to know everything which is going on in their country as well as the entire world. So here the print media should have freedom of press, okay? Because we know very well that if any news is printed in their like a newspaper, so there are many people are having a different opinion on the same news. Okay, by this different opinion, we can create a public opinion. So it is also required that the newspaper should print authentic as well as transparent information without any of the malpractices. So we can create a authentic public opinion. If the news are falsely printed, so the public opinion will also we will also get the false public opinion. So it will never help you out in the democratic system. But this is the advantages of print media. But there is also disadvantages of print media because in those regions where the literacy level is low, the print media will never help you out because the people don't know how to read. So here print media is a failure. Okay. Now the next media is the electronic media. In electronic media that we know very well because we are having the audio as well as the visual, audio and visual form of the information. So the radio and television, these are the most important devices to create a public opinion. Radio can reach far and remote places of the area where the signals are not the mains are not able to connect over the electricity. So radio is a very important devices over there. But radio is not much popular compared to the television because radio is having only audio form of the transformation. But in the television is a expensive device, but still the television is most popular devices to create a public opinion because it is having the audio and visual both form of transformation of the information. So we can say that the electronic media is a boon for the creating the public opinion. Okay, and here it is very helpful, very useful whenever the literacy level is low. Okay, so this is the method how can we create a public opinion for the government, so the system of governance. Now, types of democracy. We know very well that there are two types of democracy in the world. Like first is the parliamentary system of governance and the second is the presidential system of governance. So India has adopted the parliamentary system of governance. In this, the parliament's members are elected by the people and whomsoever win the election, the party leader or political party leader will be appointed as the prime minister by the president, and then the prime minister will form the government. Okay, the prime minister as well as the ruling party will be in the power till they are having the support of parliament. If the parliament is withdrawn their support, their government will collapse. Clear? So the existing government is totally accountable to the parliament. Clear? In the presidential system of democracy, so here, as I told you, the parliamentary system, that India is having the parliamentary system. So we can say that the parliamentary democracy system example is India. India is having the parliamentary system of democracy. Now, the presidential democracy, here the president are directly elected by the people and they are not accountable to the parliament. So, president remain in the power as per their constitution. Whatever the provisions are made for the president, like we are seeing in the USA. USA is the following the parliamentary presidential democracy, right? So USA is the example of the presidential democracy, whereas India is the example of parliamentary democracy. Clear? I hope you clear. Now the secret ballot in democracy. See, we know very well in India, wherever the Lok Sabha elections are there, wherever the Lok Sabha elections are like festival, atmosphere, the festival life is there. Like त्यौहार जैसा माहौल बन जाता है उस टाइम पर. Many of the political parties are doing their prachar by rallies and protests and by rallies as well as they are launching the campaign. Then different types of methods are they are using for their spreading the message. So this whole system, the whole election is managed by the election commission. The constitution has appointed election commission to maintain the whole system of the administration of the election. So election commission is declared the date, as well as they are declaring the announcement of the they made the announcement of the nomination and scrutinizing the form of the candidate. Then if anybody wants to withdraw their form before the election, they can also do the same. This is totally set up by the election commission. Then they are also allotting the election symbol to the political party or individual candidate. So these are the functional or the criteria or work area of the election commission. Is it clear? In our country, it is also required that the election commission should be independent. They should have their autonomy. Autonomy, that means they can take their own decision. Right? No like क्या बोल सकते हैं कि किसी भी टाइप का पॉलिटिकल प्रेशर शुड नॉट वहां पर नहीं होना चाहिए. लाइक किसी भी टाइप का पॉलिटिकल प्रेशर वहां पर नहीं होना चाहिए. Right? So we can expect that there will be the transparent and fair election will be there. Now, secret ballot. Earlier we were having the secret ballot paper system for the voting, right? But now we are having the EVM, that means electronic voting machine. Earlier, like why we have replaced ballot paper? Because it is the time-consuming method, as well as in that method it was not an environment friendly because of the use of paper. Here, that loopholes are covered by the EVM, because in EVM we are it is less time consuming to count the vote, as well as it is eco-friendly because there is no use of paper. Okay, so now we are having the EVM, and also I told you earlier the voter have right to maintain the secrecy of his or her vote. No one can ask to whom you cast a vote. Okay, so this is secret ballot in democracy. Now, the political party. As we know that India is a multi-political party country. Like political party, there is two types: national party as well as the regional party. Okay, like Bharatiya Janata Party, Indian National Congress, then Bahujan Samajwadi Party. These are the what can we say? These are the major national party in our country. Rest of the political parties are regional party. Now, what are the criteria? Because to maintain the status of national party as well as the regional party, there is a criteria selected by the election commission. Like what is the criteria? That any political party should have at least 4% of the total vote in a state in a general election. That means in a Lok Sabha election, any political party should gain the 4% of the total vote in minimum 4 states. Then that party will have the status of the national parties, and rest of are the regional party. According to right now, currently there are total 8 national parties. There is a misprint in your textbook. It is written there 1,539 national parties are there, because it is never possible. It is never possible this much parties are the national party. Yes. So as per my knowledge, as per the current, there are only 8 national parties. Other regional parties are like Aam Aadmi Party, Akali Dal, Shiv Sena, AIADMK, then DMK, Trinamool Congress, RJD. So these are the regional parties. Okay. So now the conclusion of the chapter, as we know very well, they see whomsoever win the election, they form the government and they are known as the ruling party. And the second number, like who require the second most vote in the election, they form the opposition party. They form the opposition and they are known as the opposition party. So in a healthy democracy, in a healthy system of governance, we require strong opposition party, because the opposition party is stopping the ruling party in any of the policy which is not in favor of the public. Right? Whichever the policies are made by the ruling party, and if it is not in the public welfare, so the opposition party can protest them on the behalf of the public. So we can say that the opposition party and ruling parties are like a chariot. These are the two wheels of the chariot, and in the balanced system of governance, it is required that they should work cooperatively as well as the mutual understanding. They need to develop the mutual understanding for the system of governance. So we can say that the opposition party should be strong in a healthy democracy. Okay, so this is all about this chapter. I picked only main points of this chapter. Still, if you have any kind of doubt, we can sort it out in a live session. Okay, till then, have a good day. Take care.